Hello, welcome back. My name is Alejandra and I am super excited you are here. On this channel, I chat all about teaching online, starting a TPT store, and teacherpreneur life. If any of those topics interest you, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss future videos. Now, in today's video, I'm gonna chat all about my top tips for Outschool teachers. Whether you are just starting to teach online or you've been teaching online full-time for years, I'm sure you'll find some value in today's video. So let's go ahead and begin. My first two tips I'm going to chat with you today about are super important, since when you are an Outschool teacher, you are considered self-employed or an independent contractor. That means you are your own boss, but it also means you have to be very organized with certain aspects of your business because you are responsible for a lot of different things. So my first tip for you is to find a system that helps you stay organized, specifically with your finances and your teaching schedule. Now, there are lots of different ways you can organize each of these. You can use a digital planner or tracker. You can use an Excel sheet. You can use paper and pencil like me. You need to pick a strategy or a tool to help you organize your finances and your schedule right from the start. I'm gonna share one way I personally like to organize my finances for Outschool. So for Outschool, I actually have a printed spreadsheet where I have all my classes listed for the week. And on that spreadsheet, every single time I complete a class, I write down how many students were enrolled in that class and how much income or how much I earned for that class session. Now, once I am paid through PayPal, I will go back to that spreadsheet and highlight or check it off so I know that I got paid for the work I put forth in Outschool. That just makes sure that Outschool is paying me for every single class, and then I can easily see how much income I'm making every week or every month. But there are lots of different ways you can organize your finances and schedule as an Outschool teacher. Find a strategy that works really, really well for you. Tip number 2 is all about taxes, which is probably my least favorite thing as an online teacher, but it is so important that as an Outschool teacher, you are putting aside money for taxes every single month. Now, of course, from person to person, this can be different. Some teachers have to put 10%, some teachers have to put 20 or even 30. I always recommend speaking to a financial advisor or a tax professional, but when you're first starting with Outschool, and you don't really know what tax bracket you are in, you definitely want to be putting some money aside each month. So at the end of the year, when you're paying taxes, you are not crying. You are able to pay the correct amount needed. Now, within this tip, I actually have 2 more smaller tips for you. And again, I'm not a tax professional, but these are just things that have worked for me and my business personally. The first one is to keep a list of expenses. So every single time you make a purchase for your Outschool business, you want to write that down somewhere. It can be on a piece of paper, it can be somewhere in your computer, but keep track of all your expenses. So at the end of the year, you have those expenses that you can share with your tax professional, or if you do your own taxes, you have those already laid out for you. The second tip, if you are thinking about doing this full time, or this is really your only job, or you want it to become that way, you may have to pay quarterly taxes. Again, this depends from person to person, but I would definitely research it if I were you, or again, talk to a tax professional. But thinking about taxes right from the start is super, super important when you're starting your Outschool business. Tip number 3 is to focus on what you can control. As an online teacher, your mindset is so important. Now, you cannot control everything in your Outschool business. For example, you cannot control how many students actually enroll in your Outschool classes, but there are some things in your business that you can control. For example, you can control how many classes you have listed. You can control your teaching schedule. You can control the videos on your listings. You can control your profile picture. pictures, your class pictures. There's so many things you can control in your Outschool business. So it's really important to focus on what you can control to make your business better versus focusing on things that are kind of out of your control. So have a good mindset and focus on what you can control in your Outschool business. Tip number 4 is to build up your Outschool business by offering a variety of classes. Now, if you're first starting on Outschool, I always recommend experimenting with one class type. Usually, I personally recommend either a one-time class or an ongoing class. Start with one, but as you develop more experience or you get more confidence on the Outschool platform, I think it is super helpful if you start to offer a variety of classes. On Outschool, there's lots of different class types. You can have one-time classes, ongoing classes, flex classes. You can have camps, you can have courses. So there's a lot of class types you want to offer or you're able to offer. And as you start to develop or you want to grow your Outschool business, you definitely want to try to offer a variety of different class types. And by offering a variety of class types, you can start to build class funnels. And I will touch on a little bit in the next tip more about class funnels, but you want to, again, offer a variety of classes as an Outschool teacher so you have the potential of reaching more students and having more enrollments. Tip number 5 is one of my favorite tips, and that is to give your best in every single class. Every single class, you want to give your best to those students, whether there's one student enrolled in the class or there are 10 students enrolled in the class. It is extremely helpful if you treat every single class as if those students or parents were conducting an interview. Now, the reason this can be helpful is that there's a high potential of students enrolled in one of your classes to then enroll in another class. And this kind of connects with class funnels that I was mentioning before. But let's go ahead and discuss a few examples. Let's say a student enrolls in a one-time class, and let's say it's a small class. You have a fabulous lesson with those students, and the students really enjoy your class. If you have a similar ongoing class, you may have some of those students enroll in your ongoing class. So that one-time class kind of funnels students to your ongoing club or class. Let's give another example. Let's say you have a 4-day camp and you have a good group of students in that camp and they love the class. There's a good potential or possibility that the students that really enjoy your class or your teaching style might enroll in your 8-week course. The last example I have for you is, let's say students enroll or students are taking ongoing classes with you and they absolutely love the class, but they kind of want a more personalized approach. They could then be funneled into your tutoring one-on-one classes. So I hope you understand the idea, but it all goes back to that you have to give your best in every single lesson. So when you do have students, they have the possibility to go sign up for another class because they really connect with you as a teacher. They enjoy your teaching style. They like your lessons. So give your best, build class funnels, offer a variety of classes. You can do it. Tip number 6 actually includes 2 don'ts. There are 2 things you do not want to do as an Outschool teacher. The first one is you do not want to compare yourself to others. And the second one is you do not want to focus on money. I'm going to talk about each one very briefly. So the first one, you don't want to compare yourself to others. It's definitely easier said than done. I feel like I say this in so many of my videos, but it is so important that you do not compare your journey with another teacher's. So you want to focus on your journey, celebrate every single accomplishment you make in your Outschool business, and really try to focus on yourself and your goals. Now, as I mentioned, the second don't is to not focus on money. So making money on Outschool is amazing. Obviously, it's a job. You need to make money to support your family, pay your bills, do whatever else you desire with your income, but that cannot be your only focus. And sometimes it can be kind of hard. You can get kind of annoyed if, let's say, your classes always have 5, 6, 7, 8 students, and then you have a class that only has 1 or 2, and you're like, I'm only making like $10, $15 for this class, where I'm making $40 to $50 in that class. That's a bad mindset. You want to make sure that you're focusing. Yes, you need to have that financial aspect in mind, but really focus on the students and giving your best in every single class. My last tip for Outschool teachers is to consider organizations. So I'm going to talk about two different ways you can consider being an organization or joining an organization. So let's talk about joining an organization first. If you are a newer Outschool teacher, or maybe you're just slowly starting to build up your online teaching business, it may be in your best interest to join an organization. Have I ever joined one? No, but I know a lot of Outschool teachers that join an organization to just have a nice steady stream of income. When you join an organization, you have a little bit less of responsibilities in comparison to creating your own classes on Outschool. And if you are interested in joining organizations, there are Facebook groups to kind of help you do that. But just thinking or considering about joining an organization if you are overwhelmed with Outschool, if you're low on enrollment, if you're a little stuck with lesson plans, might be helpful for you in the beginning parts of your journey. Now, you can also consider becoming an organization if you are creating a lot of different classes, if your schedule is kind of booked to the max, if you want to expand your business in a specific way. Becoming an organization on Outschool might be helpful as well. I actually interviewed someone on my channel earlier this year that shares all about how she became an organization and some of her top tips. So definitely recommend you check out that video, but consider being an organization. For me personally, it's not one of my goals, but I know so many other teachers that either want to join organizations or hope to become an organization of their own, and working towards that goal can be helpful as an Outschool teacher. I hope you found these tips in this video a bit helpful. If you did, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, and you don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss future videos. If you have any other helpful tips for Outschool teachers, definitely leave those in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in a future video.